get this, the partner shops of the insurance company wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. They wouldn't go anywhere near it because they knew that this was going to be not paid for by the insurer. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Airing of Grievances. My name is Reamer, and Rob is not with us this week, but don't go anywhere because I've got some important news to talk about with you, and we're going to cover that in just a moment. But before we do, if you haven't yet, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, click the subscribe button. That lets YouTube know that these are episodes that are valuable to you and perhaps worthy of sharing to others. We genuinely appreciate that. And as always, we just want to say happy Saturday to you. It's a good Saturday. Every Saturday is a good Saturday around here. And we're grateful for you taking the time out of your day to join us for ours. With that being the case, let's get right into it. It's going to be kind of a brief one today. But I think that the ramifications of the story that I'm going to share with you today it's a ripple effect that is happening throughout the industry, and I want to make you aware of it because as a consumer, this directly affects you and how your insurance interacts with you and the shops that are repairing your vehicles. I'll give you an example. Okay, so in Repair-Driven News on February 29th, that is Leap Day for this year, Teresa Moss wrote an article, and I will put a link to that article down below in the description box. But for the benefit of just keeping things on the this is about 2 court cases that are in process right now, and I don't want to manipulate any of the information, so I'm going to leave the insurance company's name out of this and the defendants, or the claimants I should say, names out of the story. But I want you to know you can go look up who the players are and what's going on with the link that's down below. All right. A policyholder describes one of the largest insurers in the country denial of costs to repair technologically advanced vehicle. And it talks about this great big insurance company that they refused to pay the cost of fixing a 2022 all-electric Porsche Taycan at a certified collision shop after a collision. And so that's the claim that's being made, and it turns into a class action lawsuit. There's another class action lawsuit that's going on at the same time. This one is in Chicago. The second one is in Georgia. But the reason I bring this up to you is because the process that motivates these lawsuits is basically the same as what we see here every single day. And yes, the insurance company in question is a large perpetrator of these same actions that we're going to discuss. But similarly, there are many other insurers who participate in the same business. And so bear with me here. The person at the center of the class action lawsuit against this large insurer filed in May of last year. His lawyers filed a second class action suit in Georgia, finding similar stories in that state. It states that a certified facility estimated the damage to his vehicle, this is the Porsche Taycan, to be $8,360 and change. It says that the large insurance company came back with an estimate of $6,267. So there's a significant chasm that would have to be paid out of pocket because the insurer is unwilling to pay any more than their basic rate. And the major significant difference in the rates turns out to be labor. So let's take a look at what that is. In the end, there was so much difference between the two estimates, both what the shop was willing to perform the repair for and what the insurer was willing to pay, that the guest ended up paying the entire expense out of his own pocket. That actually happened in both instances that I'm going to talk to you about. The comment that the insured said was, "I'm not paying cheap insurance. I'm paying very high insurance. I was sure it wouldn't be any problem. I have insurance with this large insurer, and they are a very strong company." Well, they're strong in the sense that they have a large amount of profits in the bank, and their profits come on the backs of their insured. That's my opinion, but it appears to be borne out in this story as well as stories that I've witnessed over the last 14, 15 years. The attorneys told the news station that the large insurance company is paying the same hourly rate regardless of the type of vehicle. It's a very complicated job to fix these technologically advanced cars, such as the electric cars that the client has, and yet they're still paying the same rate. They goes into the details of what that rate is. So in the second lawsuit, we're talking about a Maserati, right, that was supposed to be repaired, and the estimates were so far apart. And the big deal here is that it says the competitive price for a Maserati certified facility to perform a paint job is $105 an hour based on the repair market. Yet this insurance company refuses to pay for labor rates more than $55 for the work without justification and contrary to its policy terms. And that's the issue, is they're not willing to pay the rate that is competitive to the market. They're only willing to pay the rate that is competitive for their DRP or certified shops, the shops that are in a partnership program with them. Now, being certified means different things to different people. I used the word certified earlier. Maybe it wasn't the best choice of words, but when I'm talking about certification, we're talking about the certification by the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer. And in those certification processes, when you get that certification, you are, in most cases, at least all the cases that I'm aware of, required to use OEM parts, and you are required to follow OEM procedures. And yet the insurer constantly questions the need for those repairs to be, or the procedures to be followed, and the parts to be used. They cut corners at every opportunity, which only serves them and their profit margin, never serves you, the consumer, or the value of your vehicle. An interesting thing here, it says they wanted to take the car to a run-of-the-mill collision shop or another manufacturer shop that doesn't have the training or know-how and the certifications to repair the vehicle properly. That's just not okay. Here at Nylund's, we do things one way. We follow the original equipment manufacturer's procedures. We only use original equipment manufacturer's parts, and we make sure it's done right the way that your insurance policy probably says it should be returned to pre-loss condition. And yet, it's a constant daily struggle, and to the tune of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, and then maybe even billions of dollars each year. In the case of this Maserati and the class action suit against the same insurer for the same money-pinching refusal to pay proper labor rates, etc., it says they contacted multiple of the insurance company's partner shops to get the work done on this Maserati. And get this, the partner shops of the insurance company wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. They wouldn't go anywhere near it because they knew that this was going to be not paid for by the insurer. In fact, he requested that the insurer provide him with somebody who would be willing to fix it. That insurer refused to play along. They did not make any recommendation whatsoever. Instead, they offered to pay part of the estimated rate to repair the vehicle. Ultimately, that guest also paid for his own repair out of his own pocket. The reason I bring this up to you is I want to make you very aware of the fact that this is the daily grind. Just before I shot this video, our phone rang here at Nylund's, and I was able to hear the conversation from our side talking to somebody about a repair that they would like to have done. That person has the exact same insurance company and policy that the people in the question of these articles, this article has. And the question arrives at some point, and we like to bring that up on the very front end, that if you are using this insurer to pay for this repair, more than 95% of those repairs have a balance owed because the insurer is unwilling to pay for the proper repair and instead is only willing to pay what they're willing to pay based on the very bottom of the market and their partnership with their shops that have agreed to sell their souls to use inferior parts, not follow the proper procedures, and send out cars in a churn and burn style. And ultimately, you end up paying the price. The question is asked, are you comfortable with paying an out-of-pocket expense beyond your deductible in order to get the proper repair done? That is sad, but it's true. It's the way things are today. We wish it weren't that way. We wish that the insurers would step up to their responsibility to make you whole, but that's not really happening these days, and it is a struggle every single day. Now, I can speak on behalf of Nylund's Collision Center right here in Englewood, Colorado. We'll fight that fight with you and for you. Doesn't mean we're always going to win, but if we don't get the insurer to step up to their responsibility, you also probably have an option or two or three that we will counsel you or give our advice, I guess is the better word, to figure out how you can get restoration for the insurance gap that they're not willing to pay, whether it comes to parts or labor or procedures that they need to do. I want to make you aware of that. I wish that you I wish that you don't ever have to come to a body shop. But if you do, I want you to know this is the environment that we're in today. And it is a sad but necessary evil to report on these things. I can only say that we hope that things change in the future. The one thing that is in your control that you can do to maybe alleviate some of this stress is go back a couple of weeks ago and take a look at the insurance report card that the Crash Network, we made a video a couple of weeks ago. The Crash Network puts out this insurance report card. In the description box of that particular video, there's a link to the Crash Network where you can download the report card for yourself and take a look at the list. There's 88 insurers on that Crash Network insurance report card. Take a look at those who made the top 10 or maybe even the top 20, a grade of B or higher. And those insurers are likely to be significantly better for you. And in some cases, if you do the footwork and they're available in your state, you may actually pay less for a better policy and better reaction when it comes to paying the bill when you need them the most after you've paid your entire life in premiums. My name is Eric Reamer. I'm hoping that you are still with me at the end of this. I'm grateful for you tuning in. Please do us a favor. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, share this content with your social media so that other people can see what's really going on behind the scenes in the collision industry these days. And know that we're super grateful for you. Rob will be back next week. And until then, I just want to say happy Saturday to you. We're so grateful for you, and we appreciate you for being here and part of our community. Have a great week.